talking go hand in hand, don't they? If you've ever been around young children, you know they talk and talk and talk. That is what we call the verbal learning stage. Children have to hear themselves talk to actually learn. And so it's very important for them in this stage to talk. I read in a professional journal once that when you ask a child to sit down and be quiet before the age of 6, it's like asking them to sit down and not think. Now, having taught preschool, I do know that when you ask them to be quiet, they're thinking, but they're not thinking about what you're saying. They're thinking about, hey, my mom said, or teacher, he's doing. But what we can do is the more that they can talk, the more they can learn. And so in this stage where we call it a verbal learning, they need to be engaged. They need to use a lot of books where they can talk as you're reading. Now this book is a very old book, but it's a great book. It's called Chicken Soup with Rice. And I'm just going to read a couple pages, and you can see how a child can be talking or talking with you as you read this book. It's a book about the months, actually. Need to start with January. In January, it's so nice, while slipping and sliding ice, to sip hot chicken soup with rice. Sipping once, sipping twice, sipping chicken soup with rice. In February, it will be my snowman's anniversary, with cake for him and hot soup for me. Happy once, happy twice, happy chicken soup with rice. See that repetition already? In March, the wind blows down the door and spills my soup upon the floor. It laps it up and roars for more, blowing once, blowing twice, blowing chicken soup with rice. That kind of repetition for a child where they'll also be able to talk. A lot of rhyming books. I love Dr. Seuss books because a child can actually read before they know how to decode the words, but they can repeat them as you go along. Now this next clip is about a particular dog that lapped up some alphabet soup, and all of a sudden he could do something that no other dog could do. Remember, when your children talk and talk and talk and talk, that they're learning. Encourage them to talk. I always say to parents, you might have a headache by the time you go to bed if you have more than one child in this stage, but they're actually talking and learning, and encourage that. So let's show this clip about a particular dog that can do something no other dog can do.
Have you always understood what we people were saying?
You bet, and what dogs are saying too. How come you can suddenly speak? Must be the alphabet soup. A giant reptile did it! There's a poodle over on Circuit Street I'd really like to play with.
I'm sure you're curious about the early days of my life. Let me tell you something about it. I was born in a back alley.
I understand, Cat, but I can't speak. It's a nasal language. A lot of
Mama would tell us, you're dogs, not cat, kibble. I prefer soup. Like, here, boy, and I'm like, hello, I'm a girl dog.
blah, 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 blah,
Martha, be quiet!
What's wrong?
You talk too much.
I don't know if any of you have felt like that. I know my older kids with their little sister, we would be watching a movie and she would need to be narrating or making a comment. That's very normal. Children need to talk. How many have children in this stage? Anyone has a child that's talking in this stage, or a grandchild that's talking in this stage? Remember that is normal, and that as they talk that they can learn. Find books that they can participate with you as you read.